Alright, this is Silver Surfman issue 82, featuring the new, biggest, baddest villain yet, Tylenol. Look at all the powerful characters he has defeated on this cover. How much you can take Tylenol seriously varies from person to person. Most don't take him seriously, but there is just enough that maybe for one issue you can't buy into him as a major villain. I think what most people struggle with is the design. This page here best demonstrates what I mentioned last issue. He is permanently in the act of flossing his teeth. He has a series of wires running from his shoulder spikes into his mouth, and it looks both silly and it serves no apparent purpose. He's also so big and so bad that he has defeated and captured a who is who of cosmically powerful characters. From left to right, we have Granny Smith, his nemesis, introduced properly last issue. We have Mon-El, Guardian from the Legion of Superheroes, then Silver Surfman, the book star, Beta Ray Cyrus from Thor, Tyrant, and finally Korg. Korg, who was once coming. Tylenol intends to drain them of their energies and use it to further empower himself. Silver Surfman says that others will oppose him, and then Granny Smith gets quite presumptuous about her role as a character in this story. So Tylenol gives her a trademarked pim slap and says, "Your version of history does not interest me." I think I might make that a catchphrase. Not the hitting a woman part, just the line itself. Your version of history does not interest me. I suggested going with Tylenol is a personal thing, and that each person maybe has different levels upon which they can engage with this villain. I think, for me, I could just about accept Tylenol if he had a bit more actual use, or even just worth. Tylenol is set up as the big ultimate villain to end all big ultimate villains. And he's only coming less than a year after the last one, Korg. Remember him? He was coming. Korg himself is adequate. I can go with Korg, but the problem is clear. In the space of a year, we have dwarfed Korg, once the big thing, simply to provide us with the next big thing, Tylenol. There's less reason to take Tylenol seriously when you realise that he is as likely to fall to the next big thing. This gaggle of cosmic characters still isn't enough to write Tylenol up, so we throw in Ace of Spades as well. He has, or his robot minions, have now captured Ace of Spades. I actually do, in terms of writing, I appreciate at least this page here, where we allow both Ace of Spades and Tylenol an actual display of power. So far, Tylenol has either one shot or off-panel defeated these characters. And Ace of Spades isn't really any different, but we do at least get to see him try to fight. That is an increasing difference to Silver Surfman or Mon-El being blasted from something that they didn't see coming. I think this bit with Ace of Spades might be the best part of the story. Ace of Spades refuses to submit or surrender to the greater force, the giant cosmic one-man army he is faced with. Ace of Spades doesn't want to be anyone's prisoner, and he doesn't want to be used by anyone like Tylenol. He would rather die than let that happen. So Ace of Spades does a big Captain Atom Ant style self-explosion, which frees the captives from the energy siphoning machine. Meanwhile, Galactus Man approaches on a other chair. We have double splash page action. The cosmic prisoners, now freed, battle their captor, Tylenol. What's unsettling, what will make you feel a bit underwhelmed, is knowing that we are 13 pages in. We only have 10 left. We are wrapping all of this up in 10 pages, and we still have Galactus Man to fit in there somewhere. The thing that makes me find Tylenol to be a bit of a lousy villain is that he has all this set up and writing up, but he doesn't have all that much after this introduction. He is the villain in Thanius's Cosmic Powers. He's the villain in that. We get to see him fight Thanius and some of the same characters from this story again. He is defeated and more or less done with after that. He did appear recently, after another 20 years of nothing. He appeared in one of this creative team's nostalgia bait books. There is a guy who really wants me to review all of those. He thinks they are mega shite, and I don't disagree, but talking about them seems pointless because the stories are designed to not matter. If you also want me to look at them, comment down below. If more than 4 people say they want me to look at those Silver Surfman Rebirth books, I will. They are all continuity inserts by the same creative team as this. Where they actually insert into continuity is anyone's guess. And anything that happens in them doesn't matter, and often ignores any stories by other people, or even the original stories by the same people who made the comic. Tylenol was the villain in one of those. He stole the reality gem from Thanius, and so Silver Surfman and Thanius teamed up against Tylenol. Tylenol also made Ace of Spades his servant, and Ace of Spades was wearing his art costume, which he had abandoned by the time Tylenol was introduced in this issue. Now that is just a little nitpick, but those books are completely unworkable when it comes to continuity. Thanius refers to Karen Gillan as his daughter, not his alleged granddaughter, and then he kills her. That level of unworkable continuity. I think another writer, maybe someone a bit better than this, could take Tylenol on and refine them and make them into a quality big bad. I'm thinking something along the lines of Annie All Nation. But with Tylenol, you've got this monstrous machine overload, and I think there's stuff to work with to flesh him out or make him more than a villain who overpowers everyone. Another double splash. Always good when we are condensing several heroes fighting the villain at once into a couple of pages. Always good to blow some of that time on a double splash. Amidst the battle, we start setting up a small character arc, a story arc. Ace of Spades and Granny Smith. Granny Smith comes to Ace of Spades' side here. She is checking if he is still alive and trying to get him back up and fighting. They will become a thing after this, but what I like is that their relationship is actually pretty well defined, and it seems to have a story to tell from beginning to end. Ace of Spades is projecting onto Granny Smith. He thinks she is his true love and whatnot, partially because she appeared to care for him in this issue, but also because they do connect somewhat, and Ace of Spades is so used to being an outsider or nobody caring that he overlooks most of Granny Smith's actual intent or desires. It is resolved in cosmic powers. After a few annuals or backup stories with the two, Granny Smith abandons Ace of Spades to complete her life's mission of slaying Tylenol. And it is a great bit where Ace of Spades wakes up and realises how his idea of Granny Smith was not who she actually was at all. I like that. It feels like a proper story arc with an end point. His realisation. I don't think Silver Surfman or these books often managed that. Far too much of it was making stuff up as we went along. But I liked that we had that relationship and we reached the natural conclusion to whatever story there was there. The fight with Tylenol is only okay. If I were to repeat a word, it would be underwhelming. We don't really get to see Beta Ray Cyrus do much. We don't get to see Mon-El do much. And then when we might see Granny Smith actually do something, Silver Surfman butts in and steals her moment. During all this is good as well, this is good. We have Teriax and Korg. And Korg is blinded by his want for revenge on Teriax. Korg wants to kill Teriax and doesn't care at all about the ongoing thing with Tylenol. Teriax is his priority. In the 10 issues or so that Korg has been around, all those times that Korg has come, a rivalry and hatred for Teriax was firmly established. So here, it pays off well as a side plot during the action. Throughout the scene, we have cutaways in the corners to Galactus Man, showing him getting closer and closer to us, the readers. Tylenol, he doesn't really let up either. On paper, he is able to defeat all these guys again, which does help cement him as a powerful villain, but does it really matter in the end? Granny Smith gets another opportunity to shine here, and in keeping with everything she has done so far, she doesn't achieve anything. The big fight that we get to see is our title star and Tylenol. Silver Surfman versus Tylenol. Tylenol, however, also bests him. And yeah, this works for writing up a villain, but it is a villain who never goes anywhere after this, so it feels rotten to have all these characters, very powerful characters, take a fall for establishing Tylenol. Galactus Man is here, and I am going to spoil something. This scene is okay, the writing is decent. Galactus Man, he talks to Tylenol, but the undercurrent, the idea is that the universe isn't ready for a physical confrontation between Galactus Man and Tylenol. That would be a battle for the ages that would forever rock the cosmos. Now that sounds good, doesn't it? They're teasing a big battle. That's really effective writing, getting us excited for an eventual battle. We never ever get to see them fight. There is a double splash page fake out, it's a dream or a vision or something like that, in Thanius's cosmic powers. But there's barely any more conflict between the two after this issue. And I'm not just talking physical conflict. There's barely any interaction between the two after this issue. On that front, we have some quite shoddy mystery going on with Tylenol's origin. Who is Tylenol? How does Galactus Man know of Tylenol? What is their connection? Those are all intriguing questions, and it's fine that we don't get the answers in this issue, but when we do, it turns out Tylenol was just like a prototype skater boy for Galactus Man. Really shit. This issue, it positions them as apparent equals and opposing forces. I like this even. Galactus Man tries to arrange peace and non-interference to avoid the cataclysmic fight with Tylenol, whereas Tylenol abuses Galactus Man's hesitance to try and exert dominance over him. Tylenol only agrees to Galactus Man's terms if Galactus Man pays for it. If Galactus Man surrenders Korg, his current skater boy, if he surrenders Korg to Tylenol. Tylenol permits everyone else to leave, but not the only one Galactus Man had a vested interest in liberating. I do think there are many flaws you can pick with this, and many instances of unfulfilling writing, but by itself this issue has a lot of moments that do at least appear to carry weight and importance. There's plenty of visual enjoyment. There's some extracts of writing that are even worth some praise, I've got to give it 7 thumbs up.